Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot, everybody. I'm glad y'all came out with us today. And it's been about 5 days since we've been back here. Had to step back for a minute and re-energize and take a breath. I think sometimes when you poke around in the fire a little too far, you get your eyebrows roasted off, and that's kind of what happened to us the other night. You know, we'd done that video with the mirror and then worked on one for Rachel. And if that wasn't enough, we thought we'd come back later that night after dark and set the infrared camera up. And I had hung a couple of glow sticks out, probably 15 or 16 yards out in front of the camera. And we had the voice recorder on back farther, probably 35-40 yards out from where the camera was set up, a little ground lantern. And they started talking and chattering and going on, and had some tree knocks and stuff happen. But at one point, and I don't know how else to describe it, and you'll see it when I show you the section of the clip from that night, but we got dive bombed or energy blasted or something. This great big huge orb just shot up and out and flared everything in our space. And for about the first 3 days after that, I just had no enthusiasm, no energy. I was kind of angry about stuff and had no reason for being angry about anything, just moody. So we just needed to take a step back for a few days and let everything settle down. Not exactly sure who shot the orb at us or what it was all about, but it wasn't 15 or 20 seconds after that happened that the entire mood of everything out here just changed, and it was time to pack it up and call it a night. So don't think that you're immune to it. Even when you're close to it, it can still affect you in drastic ways. So I'm always the one to push the next red button to see what the reaction's going to be, and not going to let it stop us or slow us down, but sometimes you just got to sit back and think about it for a minute. But I think we'll make our way up onto the hill and go cut those glow sticks down that I had hung up. Maybe take those little foil streamers down and collect all that stuff back up out of the woods today. Alright guys, we'll pick this up in just a few minutes. Alright, so let's see if we can find that spot we were set up at. Thinking it was somewhere right through here someplace.
Close to the edge. Trying to watch for snakes. We're guessing they're still out there.
I'm thinking it had to be over here someplace. Because see, I can see the streamers way over there through the trees, and we could see, I see the glow sticks now. Yeah, because it was right here. We were trying to give them a kind of a recreation shot in the daylight here. But we were sitting right here with the tripod put up, and I don't know if you can see the little glow sticks hanging on the limbs out there. But those were there, and then farther on back we had the voice recorder out behind that tree hanging up. So whatever that thing was shot right up through here and then up and out through the trees.
I'm not convinced that it was these people, but possible.
But it just had a very, very negative feeling about it whenever it came through, and we normally don't experience that from Junior or Anku or any of that, so it's
Might have been this spot, you know.
here. I'm gonna give you my pocket knife if you want to cut this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have remembered where they were at. It was by this tree we had been using as a little gifting tree that had the old t-shirt drug up to it.
Yeah.
There's even a little peanut butter cup laying over there.
We'll go gather that while I'm looking at it.
I know everything was clicking along and going along. We were catching some different sounds and knocks and vocals, and then that thing shot up and out and through here, and everything quit. I don't know if you guys remember that tree there from some of our earlier videos. We were putting some stuff around it for the little ones, and then that white t-shirt got drug up around it. I think that was part of the clothing and stuff that was from that old campsite we'd found months and months ago. All right.
It looks just about baby size.
Here's a little sitting spot.
That's cool. I think that must be for a wee one. A wee baby one.
It's kind of a intersection right here of trails running back and forth and crisscross through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And right over to where I hung those foil streamers up. So we're going to go ahead and get those collected up today. I think they serve their purpose. So I initially put these back here. I hung up 6 of them and I'm only seeing 4. So they carried off a couple of them, and I'm sure we'll find them somewhere out here. I'll give you the pocket knife back if you want to. It's kind of hard to explain the effect of that. You just feel all muddied up, nothing's clear. You just feel like everything's been unplugged and you're drained. I thought it was kind of a neat idea to try those out here and see. Apparently a couple of them got taken. I'm not going to point the camera right out at the glare off of it.
Yeah. There were a couple of times that 3 weren't moving and 1 would be
going crazy.
So we don't know. Maybe they were playing.
Yeah. Guess we'll walk on through there and do the trees real quick. Looking at all the little footprints, like one of them was dancing around this tree.
This must be the youngest set. I'm seeing if I see Mama's foot anywhere.
So whatever that energy was, it was not something we'd ever felt out of the Sasquatch themselves before. It was completely different, but don't know who
We don't
to
really
pin it
know.
on.
We don't really know if it intended harm or if it just had
Had
an
that
effect on us.
had that effect. Well, there's one of the little peanut butter cups. Look in here real quick.
They've changed the K again. I make a K and they straighten out the sticks like that.
Yeah, it's a little warm and humid out here today.
Yeah, let's get my bottle of water and some racket. Let's see a bag.
Well, we're definitely going to have to start just constantly thinking about all of this stuff in the quantum level, because normal doesn't even scratch it.
I'm looking for, you know, sometimes we'll find their footprints and it'll be an impression on the leaves without the leaves really being gone. And other times it'll just be down to bare dirt. And something that came across my mind about that was, it's like when they come into a physical space, however their energy changes. It's almost as if when they step
They're coming in
into
at
this
such a
plane,
fast and hot frequency that they're
right, when they step down into the physical, it's almost like it burns their foot into the dirt, because there won't really be a it's just a clear foot, no disturbance to the leaves around it, no, it's just something that I thought was odd. So I'll keep my eye out and see if I see one. And then I think when they're already in this space and they step down, it just leaves that natural impression on the leaves that we find sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I've still quite got all of that shaken off. So I think I just sat there at the house for 2 days and didn't hardly speak. Just
see if we see anything new here. That was there in front of us, huh?
yeah, I just heard one of them
Bark.
bark way over there, somewhere back in that corner.
Oh, come on, guys. Yeah, I don't know that I'm feeling that it was anything from this group, because even on our night walks, we've never had anything like that, really. That, I mean, unless one zoomed into the space in a hurry and the energy just affected us that way, which I do feel can happen. I don't think we often think about how sensitive our field is.
I don't know, that thing shot in like a rocket and shot up out of there like it was trying to hit Mach 3 or something.
And even in the mirror, you know, the energy on both of them was very white, red, maybe a little gold, but this was just like
Super bright.
super golden. But it was so quick, I can't really give any more detail than that.
Now that IR camera doesn't really show color well. It'll just show various intensities of bright, you know.
Right, and it could have been something else with that light reflecting. Maybe it was a different color and the light made it look like a color to us or something. I don't know. Not much of this ground left that doesn't have a glyph or a framework or something in it. I remember when we first started coming out, there was none of this.
Just looking at all of that, it just looks like they've been running laps up and down through there.
Yeah. feeling that I get is it's just going to be in certain places, like where it's easier for them to step in. $50,000 portals. Trying to figure out which one's which.
Yeah, that was one of the questions one of them had about all these different energy spots and portals, and if they used all of them just to, you know, take off to some other place. And I think it's more like different windows around the house. They just use it to bounce around over the woods.
Rooms, yeah. They must be carrying off the bags, because I'm only finding a little bit. And normally they're...
The only thing I see right there on the ground is the peanut butter
cup.
cup and the foil lid that they pulled off of
I
it.
picked up the small bag, but I don't know what they're doing with the popcorn bag. It's a snake. Isn't it?
What are you looking at?
Coming out of that hole. That's not a snake, is it?
I don't know. Let me just zoom the camera in.
It's just got a weird shine on its face that made me feel like it was a snake.
I don't know if it's a stick or...
Alright, well.
I think it's a snake. Maybe.
From here I can see different
Well,
colors.
that is weird.
Yeah. Alright, you just stay there. Makes me feel real good about this tree. From this side I can see the different shades of brown.
What kind of snake is that?
I don't know, unless it moves its head. I can't tell what shape the head is.
That is just weird.
Maybe it's not a snake at all.
Alright.
I can see the different shades, darker brown and the lighter brown if I stand here. That's what made me wonder.
The serpent in the tree. God, that story sounds familiar.
Oh no, and I just put an apple in the tree. Oh. I'm gonna say my apologies. We women have paid our... I didn't eat the apple though, just to clarify. It wasn't me. Oh my God. That's just weird. Okay. Let's see if anybody's lurking. They usually are, but it's a little early in the day, so.
I don't know, but I'm going to have to rethink that whole night deal. That's...
Well, maybe if we feel the conviction from these guys to go out instead of just making decisions randomly, then...
Well, we pushed that entire day because we started off doing the mirror on the wall video and then took a little break and worked on your video with the mirror, took a little break and then came back out at dark and set all that other stuff up. Maybe
the mirrors are neat, but we also have to consider if they're opening their own kind of portal.
Maybe they just got tired of getting poked at. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling it was... I don't know.
It'll come to us.
You see anything right here? Like between those two trees.
Where are you pointing at?
Just directly in front of me. There's 2 trees and 2 trees behind it, like a walkway. Just felt like I was seeing something through there that might pick up a little better on the monitor.
I just constantly am playing an up and down battle with my glasses, trying to see or not see.
Yeah. And right here in front of me, I feel like that's one of the, if you want to step to your right, at the base of that tree, it feels like we've got a peaker, like one of the the older twins. It's about that size. I don't know. Okay. The snake business has me bugged out.
Well, the one up in the tree doesn't bother me. It's the ones laying under the leaves that you can't see.
Yeah.
But it's had the weirdest looking head on it. That's...
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's an eye on it.
Yeah, I could see its whole face after I zoomed in on it, so...
Of all the trees in the woods.
Yeah, it's still there staring at us.
Okay.
Almost doesn't even look real.
I know, it's so...
Maybe it's one of those little shapeshifters.
Great. That's what I say, of all the trees. Why this one?
Oh, it's a lever, right? We're gonna leave her right where we found it.
Yeah. You want a drink?
Now let's eyeball this wheel real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here because I'm still tired. Well, that looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. There's an example of getting
Sorry.
blasted, or...
This rock is doing...
Alright, so now the quartz is standing up on end.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. So I had this point kind of tilted and laying on top of this, and these were in a line. Now these are more triangulated. This is standing on end and this is lying behind. I'm going to leave it alone. The glyphs all look the same. I don't know if I just bumped that or if something rolled it up, but
I don't know, but the rocks were upside down. Now they're right side up and one's on the ground.
oh, maybe that clacking the other day or something.
Probably when we heard the rock clacking when we were out here the other night. No, don't even call them in right now. Let them sleep.
Oh, that looks like a piece of turtle shell, but it's too white. Somebody's been sitting right here. It's just as flat. Okay. Anything, guys? would not begin to know what that change means, but apparently we are in for a change.
Standing straight up on edge. That's
or
cool.
maybe we've just been through a change. I don't know.
Alright guys, that's pretty much all we have for today. Just wanted to share some of the opposite end of the coin with you out here. Sometimes you get your eyebrows burn off, so I wanted to share that experience with you.
Yeah.
Don't quit pushing the red buttons though.
Just be ready for a couple days if you need them.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it.
Alright, I hear a big glass of lemonade calling my name and a soft chair to drink it in. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks.